Unusual shape and small size lets you avoid enemies' attention, and that leads to comical situations. Experienced tankers follow a rule. If something looks like a box and acts like a box, it's an American tank destroyer. This tank I was so skeptic before proved itself so well that I had to reevaluate my attitude towards small light tanks that I always thought was a troll pick in higher tier battles. I will overview and show this vehicle in different game modes and give some tips that are relevant in both of them. But first, let's begin from the list of characteristics to get better idea of what kind of vehicle it is. T114 is a tier 5 premium tank destroyer. That means increased rewards after battle and ability to research any vehicle in USA tank tree without penalties. Only one shell available, a high explosive anti-tank with 380mm of penetration. It has quite small damage, but at least you can be confident that enemy will be penetrated. Projectile speed is 500 meters per second. It has 4 shells magazine and a reload of 2.5 seconds between each shot. Once you fire a shell or more, crew starts quite long ammo replenishment into the magazine. Armor thickness ranges from 30 to 40 mm, but don't be tricked by the thickness here. It's made of aluminum alloy 7039, which according to War Thunder Wikipedia is half as effective as usual armor. So despite thickness, it won't make you immune to high caliber machine guns. And you have a hull break mechanics. Zero survivability. Only 2 crew members sitting in a straight line surrounded by ammo. Tank is designed to hide, not to get hits. Both guns' depression and elevation are 8 degrees. This unusually small vertical guidance means that you might face difficulties in uneven maps. Turret rotates with a speed of maximum of 20 degrees per second, which is slower than most light tanks. Expect to reach 40 km per hour relatively fast, more only when going downhill or on good road. Backwards 12. Additionally, you can swim, but slowly, and you can turn fast. Overall, tank feels quite agile. You have the ability to support your team by spotting. Also the airstrike and improved optics modifications that are usual for lightly armored tanks. You also have a very special machine gun that fires 5 rounds before needing to reload. It shoots spotter tracer bullet that has similar muzzle velocity as your heat shells, so you can use those to adjust your aim for short ranges. In arcade, your size is not very helpful to remain stealthy, but instead you can use it to pass doorways or gaps between buildings to appear in unexpected places. Since your gun is mounted asymmetrically on the right, try to peek from that side to minimize your exposure. This, plus your size, can make your silhouette so small that enemies will have difficulties to hit you. Shooting over long distances is difficult. Because of small post-penetration effect, you need precisely knock out crew members. Since in arcade, tanks can survive with 1 crew member, if crew replenishment is researched, you can survive after getting hit. But enemy tanks will take more shots to kill as well, since you have to pinpoint each crew member. Stay under the cover while spamming spotting button to know the location of nearby enemies. If enemies don't pay attention to you, rush to them, shoot, and hide again. Repeat the process until you get to enemy respawn. And use the advantage of airstrike modification that allows you to join already initiated air battles. In realistic, you take full advantage of your shape and size. Often you'll get into situations where enemy will mistakenly assume you are part of an environment. Every small bush can hide you, especially if you add bush decorations on your tank. When standing still, you are almost invisible. Use that to prepare your attack by calculating distance with rangefinder. With so slow shell's traveling speed, it's more than useful. Hiding between tanks, buildings or other objects while standing in the open is also possible if you are not moving a gun. Since you have such unusual shape, many players may not pay attention to you. When they get closer, you should be able to easily kill them with 4 precise shots. Size also allows you to fully hide behind small objects, allowing you to take unusual positions. Count magazine size. You have 4 shots to be shot with 2.5 second intervals. If there are no shells left, each shell will take about 10 seconds to be placed inside the magazine, plus 2.5 seconds to load it into gun. You can effectively hold behind cover few enemies. With usual tanks, after you shoot, enemies will get out and kill you. But with small reload like yours, there is no gap for them to do it safely. When standing on friendly capture point, shells will rearm straight into your magazine, plus the crew that is doing the same. This way you can fill magazine much faster and spam your shots more often. Thanks to ability to shoot multiple rounds quickly, T114 can be extremely good tool to spread chaos inside enemy group. Agility will let you flank fast, or simply use your size to hide and let the enemies get closer, or even pass you before opening fire. Slow muzzle velocity and no rangefinder can make it more difficult to engage distant enemies, but lets you shoot over hills instead. Overall, this tank has huge potential in skilled hands. And if you see potential in this channel, subscribe, like, share, watch other videos.